Hello everybody, welcome back to RimWorld. We are 1.0 and guess what? It is October, so we're going to try a zombie mode for this particular game. Let's go ahead and get into the game, and I'll go back at the end of the video to cover all of the mods, and I guarantee you there are a ton of mods. You're not going to want to miss this because there's a mod I am so damn excited about. But, oh, I'm not loading. I'm going to New Colony. We are going for the crash landed, the same one I used last time, a little bit of extra stuff and 5 people starting. But actually there's going to be a last minute survivor joining the crusade. We're going to go for medium. I'm not sure how this zombie thing works, and we're going to go for a reload anytime. If you would like to be in this particular playthrough, let me know down in the comment section. I have got 3 people on my list for whenever we get new people, and I'm very very cautious about the people that I name, and less cautious so about everybody else. Savage, how about that? How about Savage? Global coverage is 30. I will be trying to change the UI inside this game. It's going to take a minute for generating the world. I'm going to try and change the UI because I have been told that it is hard to see the interface down at the bottom. Okay. Oh, the Marines. I have got the Marines with us today. I am looking for something. Let's go to terrain. See, the interface is a lot larger. I hope that's not too irritating to some folks. Give me just a second and I will come back when I have found the perfect site. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think I have found one. It took a lot of time trying to find one that I actually wanted. This map didn't give me a whole lot of options, but we are at, let's see, 19.83 north, 14.23 west, and we are right here at the cusp of a road, a mountain, and a river. It is going to make building very, very difficult. There is year-round growing, and it's in the tropical rainforest, which is called the Green Hell. Why? Because you can easily get sick and die from infections. So that is going to be something that we are going to have to take care of. And it's got a lot of animal life, which could be good and could be bad, because that means, well, we might get attacked by predators a lot. The only good thing about this is it's got a whole lot of the different things. It's got caves, it's got mountains, it's got a river, it's got a road. It's got everything in one tile, which is kind of what I want. So let's cross our fingers. Okay, we're gonna go to prepared carefully because I already have a character preset for us to use. We've got Bastei, Rolnoff, Mark, Phoenix, Penguin, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be making an appearance in this particular one. We've met everybody in the previous one, but just in case you don't remember, we've got Bastei, going to be our meleeer and our cooker, and I did bump it up to a burning passion because we had a lot, I mean a ton of food poisoning during our last episode. I don't really want that at the beginning. It's just really, not a good thing. My goal was to make sure everybody had a burning passion, not only because they learn faster, they take joy from doing these jobs, and joy is going to be a pain, seeing as how we're playing on zombies. Everybody should have like a good trait, negative traits, pretty, fast walker, abrasive, and sanguine. Sanguine offering a permanent mood effect of +12, which is great. Abrasive meaning she's not going to get along with a whole lot of people. But those who do get along with her are going to have a better time. Fast walker and pretty. Rolnoff, he's got shooting and intellectual. He's going to be our person to go to for all things intelligence. Beautiful, quick sleeper, fast learner, which is good for the 75%, and intellectual, and a great memory. Close that. Meaning he's, he'll lose skills less. And let's see, Mark is tough, abrasive, beautiful, and a Marine. I do have the Marine mod going, so we've got Marine factions and Marine abilities, plus shooting, plus melee on there. And then we've got Phoenix as sanguine, steadfast, beautiful, and kind. Mining and social I didn't cover. Mark's, his is shooting and animals. Penguin is nimble, corpseman, meaning he's our medic, a big, huge medic that was in the military. Shooting, melee, and medical are all pluses. Construction and crafting, oddly enough, not really a burning passion for medical, but, you know, interested. Figured it would probably be too much putting a burning passion there. That's just not a good idea. That's a little bit overkill. Great memory on me. That is so not right. Transhuman, meaning I want to be a bionic. Honestly, I do think it would be cool. A Marine, I do have military background, and jealous. I do get jealous from time to time. I'm just a horrible person, guys. Don't like me at all. Okay, we're going to start with these guys. I do have my 3, Skylar, Connor, and Chris, that will be joining us as characters come in. Everybody, we do have some different mods going, so you're going to see a lot more facial movements, some body parts that weren't there before, and facial hair that wasn't there before. It's kind of funny because I can't change the facial hair at all. It just generated it for them, so everybody's just kind of stuck with the facial hair it was given. Like the little roll them out to the side hairs. It's kind of funny. Anyway, let's start. Cancel. I do have some relationships on here. I wasn't sure about doing this, but during the last playthrough, Mark and Phoenix and Rolnoff and Bastei had relationships. I'm not going to start them out as married, because I think one of these 2 couples got married, but I don't remember which. So I'm going to start them out as lovers and just see where it goes. They could break up, they could get married, who knows? Equipment, the only thing that I changed from the last one is I added a couple of more Labradors. We've got a couple of people. Well, we've got an extra person. And I lost all my Labradors aside from one at the very, very end. It just happened to be a female, and she just happened to be pregnant, which was awesome. I upped the amount of beer because, you know, Mark would be unhappy if he got crash landed and didn't have beer. And I've got a semi-auto, I don't know, sniper rifle. We're going to see how that one works. I think that's from the Marines. But I needed an extra weapon, and it seems to me that the sniper rifle would be a better weapon to take because we've got bolt action, revolver, and a plasteel knife, so it's just an extra weapon for somebody to start with. Yes. Confirm! And then we are going to crash land. Everybody dies. It's going to take a minute. Alright, we crashed on unknown rim world. Let's take a look at this map. And everybody's out. Let's pause. Oh wow, this is going to be difficult. Oh, and we already have an infestation here. Really? Game? Was that necessary? Oh, but I do like the cave systems. I really do like the cave systems that they added to the game. I hope this UI works for everybody. Tell me if you still can't see it. I don't think I can make it any bigger without adjusting the screen size, and I think that's probably gonna... It's probably gonna make it to where people who are watching like on their phones or something are not gonna be able to see it at all. It will be too blurry if I do that. What is this? Okay. I do have the More Animals mod, which means finding the animals that we actually want and need are going to be difficult. We are going to need these guys. Thankfully, we have a group here. We have mushrooms, which are interesting. I think we're going to have to... Oh boy. We are going to have to, Wow, there's so much marshland out here too. We are going to have to use the mountain. Obviously, we're going to have to use the mountain. But I'm thinking, like, right in here is the perfect little cubby for us. And then eventually expanding out in this area. And the reason I say that... Hang on, let me show you something really quick. Can I get a little bit of wood, folks? Oh, see him? Look! The little hands and feet. The characters are a lot more expressive in this particular one. Okay, we're gonna go to the unbuilding. And this is the mod that I'm talking about. I absolutely love these textures. Let's do one of those. No, not an embrasure. And wall B. Let's just let them put those together really quick. Who do I have? Hang on. Construction. 3 of 7. Okay, you help, you help. Okay. Just get those built really quick. Oh, we actually have a bridge on here? Huh. But look at those textures. Look at those textures. And I haven't even got all of them unlocked. There's so many different types of flooring in this. Metal grid flooring. We've got all kinds of stuff. We are going to make this look so cool, which is the reason why I wasn't really wanting to start inside of a mountain. So some of our buildings are going to be out here, and we probably are going to use this as like a fallback spot. So yeah, I was not even thinking about the marshland. That is going to be a pain to build around, but we can do it. And we've got the river here, so that, what is that? A kimono dragon. Okay, we've got kimono dragons, folks. Mark, you might want to save your beer. What other kind of animals do we have here? I'm just curious before I pop into all the mods about what else might be hiding on this map. Where is the ancient danger? There's usually always one on here. That's obviously not it. Oh lord, it might actually be inside the mountain. Like maybe right here might be the ancient danger? Or it could be fully buried in the mountain, in which case we'll run into it while we're digging into the mountain. But the plan is to try and isolate this area, because when the zombies do come in, and I'm not sure exactly how this particular zombie mod works, it's not ZombieRim, it's another one. And the reason I did that one is because I want hordes to come in instead of starting out in an area that's already covered by them. I'm not sure if the other one works the same way or not. But yeah, these particular textures I really, really love, so I want to be able to build outside as well. Having a fallback spot, awesome, but I want to build out here. And I think whenever we get to the ship part, what we might actually do is isolate the ship away from the colony. Like maybe up here, block every bit of this in and build it up here outside of the colony? Or have this up here for that, I don't know. Oh, this is going to be tricky, guys. It's going to be very, very tricky. I do want to build into the mountain because it's going to be safer. But I want the ability to build outside because the textures are so damn awesome. Okay, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be all I'm going to show for today. Everything else is going to start up with the first episode. Coming up next, I'm going to go over the 5,000 mods that I have. Honestly, it's probably close to 200 mods. Maybe 100. I don't know about 200, but maybe 100. And I'm going to give you an idea of the kind of things that we are going to be going for. So let us save us right here under New Arrivals and go back to the main menu. And pull up our mods. Okay, here is the mod list. We have got Hugs Lib, which of course is, you know, the basic mod you've got to have for everything. And Zombified, Zombie Apocalypse. I do have it where modded animals and vanilla animals do not turn into zombies. I want this to be a human-on-human zombie action thing. I want it to be like the zombie apocalypse happened, maybe the Walking Dead style. So that's what we are going to get. Zombies generated for any given life form. And basically, I don't know exactly when the zombies will start. It rolls, I don't know how many times a day, to find out if there's enough noise to attract the zombies to our location. The bigger we get, the more chances we have of attracting the zombies, which is basically if we ran away from a bad area or a zombie apocalypse happened, that's kind of how it would happen. So that's what we're going to go with. Jack's tool is another modding tool, basically like Hugs Lib. There's a few things that have to have this in order to work. Fluffy breaks down, always a good mod. If you're interested in my mod list, pay very, very close attention to the order of the mod list. I had to work for a long time to get these mods to work together. Zombified and most mods that change the makeup of the game at its base fundamentals have a hard time working with other mods. So pay very close attention to the order I have them. I went through several different ways of doing this to get it to where it didn't register any problems. Miscellaneous core for all the miscellaneous items. This is the mod you have to have in order to get them to work. Mod switch. Because I had to go through so many mods and it kept bumping all of my mods off, I got this to back up my list. That way I could go back and start with what I had, see what I changed, and move it around again. The Marine Corps mod. Basically, I want us to have the Marine Corps to help us. We are in the zombie apocalypse. There's going to be Marines out there. The Uncolony. Now, this is the mod that I absolutely love that I showed you. Look at all of those textures. Oh my god. Anyway, they've got a list of things they already have in here. New researches that you have to do. New benches to have. Oh, wow. Okay, and I think it actually comes with robots? Interesting. I did not know that. And I think they're actually planning on adding more into the game. I would love for them to do a texture for just basic furniture. That would be amazing. Like beds made from scrap and tables made from scrap. The basic everything. I want them to actually rework the game with these kind of textures. I love this mod for this kind of gameplay, the zombie thing, where they're just taking things and scrapping them together, trying to make a world out of it. This is the best so far. Beyond the End of the World, because we had one of these things, I don't know what this is, crash land on my planet, but nothing ever happened, I got this mod again to see what actually happens. Double population because I don't want Cassandra to kill us too soon. Celsius and Fahrenheit, for anybody who happens to be using Celsius who watches my channel. I think most of my viewers are American, but I don't know. And I don't want to leave anybody out, so I put the Celsius and Fahrenheit on there. Camera plus, so I can get in close and be nosy with my people. Progress renderer, just so it'll take pictures as we go and I can show the colony as it's growing. Rim HUD shows a detailed information for each of the menus that I am going to be opening, which will make it easier for you to see what I'm doing and easier for me to find things. Actually, this one is specifically for seeing the characteristics of all my characters. This one changes the menus to where you can see them better. Don't stop the music. I love the music in the game. I don't want it to stop and have pauses. Not to mention, it's kind of jarring when the music starts up again after it's been quiet for a while. It starts making me wonder if something is happening. So I'd rather the music not stop. Rain washes away filth. Makes perfect sense to me. And also, I don't know if you've played this game or not, but in later stages of the game, the gameplay gets a little stuttered. Or at least people who have played it well into the game, who haven't tried to leave or, you know, whatever. After the colony gets so big, it gets a little funky. And part of that is because filth gathers on the map and takes up, like, the memory for the game or whatever. This washes away, guaranteeing that we keep some of that FPS for ourselves. Encounter map resources. Every time during the last playthrough that I left the map, we didn't encounter any resources to mine out or whatever. This brings that back. It was in earlier alphas and betas of the game that you could find resources. This brings that back. The price is right. It takes away a little bit of that debuff from trading caravans. Who wants to take out a trading caravan if you're going to get hit so hard for the trading? Why not just stay at home and sew when they get here? I want a reason to go out. Economic Band-Aid. It reworks a little bit of the profits, so that it makes it a little bit better to actually try to go and sell on empires and stuff like that, to actually try and make a living. And since we're in the apocalypse, we are going to be making a lot of stuff and trading for a lot of stuff. Who knows when we might get stuck inside our own walls for a while? I don't know. Miscellaneous instances. There's just little things that stumble all over the planet, and who knows what exactly is going to happen. I don't know. The last miscellaneous instance that we had was an artifact that dropped on the planet, and when we busted it open, it dropped gold. So that was a cool one, but then again, the person could have died, so, you know, that's the trade-off. Fi Client, I do have it to where I can use this. I have no idea how to use it. I know where it is on the UI. I don't know what you do exactly to get it to work. But if you do have Fi Client and you know how to use it, hit me up down in the comment section. I would really love to know how to work this. Basically, it makes it online multi-colony interactions. You can trade with other people playing the game, which is cool. Questionable ethics. I don't think I really need to go into talking about this one. Basically, we can grow organs, scan brains, enslave enemies. You know, just the usual stuff that happens during the zombie apocalypse. Who knows which kind of colony we're going to grow? Are we going to be like the people on The Walking Dead, the bad guys? Who knows? I don't know where it's going to go. I'm going to let the characters write their own stories. Grayer morals, yet again. They don't care about wearing dead man's clothes. Prisoners are sold or harvesting are left to die. Basically, if someone comes and attacks us, why do we care what happens to them? In my opinion, I don't. You try to kill me, I don't care if someone sells you. in a zombie apocalypse, that makes sense to me. In a survival situation, that makes sense to me. Marine Corps traits. Basically, if you've been in the Marine Corps, you have different traits. You have different skill sets. This brings those out. More trait slots. I want a lot of variations whenever people come in here. I want to see the gambit of what could possibly happen for traits. Should be interesting. Prepare carefully. You actually saw that work at the beginning of the game to make sure that you have the colonists the way you want them and the stats and the gear and stuff. Whenever you drop, this helps you do that. If you do not run with Prepare Carefully, you should. Craftsmanship. I used this one on the last one. Love this mod. They get a chance to sit around and talk about their skills and help others. No murderous rage, no slaughter. Because people who cannot fight should not be able to go into a murderous rage. Makes no sense to me. If you were in a survival situation, you're not going to slaughter people in your own colony. You might beat the shit out of somebody. You might find somebody from another colony to beat the shit out of, but you're not going to take it out on your own group. You're like a family. This next one, I am going to click on it, then click immediately off of it and explain. And the reason is not everybody has a couple and everybody needs a stress relief besides prayer. That's as far as I'm going to go. I really don't have to explain it, that it is a thing that happens in life. It makes it more real. Hopefully there's no... I have played a few hours of the game. You'll never know what's happening. I'm just saying. Where's my weapon? If they drop their weapon, they're going to go back and find it, which is, you know, a duh thing. If you drop your weapon during a battle, you're going to go back and find your weapon. So they'll remember which weapon is theirs and go get it. Snap out. Someone starts acting stupid, you have the option to go up and smack them upside the head and say, straighten up! Happens in every movie. Love it. Pick up and haul. If you're somewhere and there's something that needs to be hauled, they will pick it up and take it back with them. Share the load. Every time I see this, all I can remember is the share the load from the Lord of the Rings. Basically, more than one person can haul to a construction. Makes sense. One person shouldn't have to do that. Running gun. You can shoot and run at the same time. The only issue is bad guys can do it too. So it is... It is interesting when the bad guy is running away and you think you're all good and he shoots over the back and shoots your character in the head. Sucks. Simple sidearms. They can carry more than one weapon. I don't know why this isn't in the base game. Should be. Avoid friendly fire. Make sure that you don't shoot each other. I don't think that really needs to be said, that you shouldn't be shooting each other. Mystery meat. Where did the meat come from? Nobody knows. After it's been chopped up, nobody's going to know where the meat came from. It's going to look the same as the other meat. Just saying. So they're not going to know that they had cooked cannibalism. If somebody decides to go crazy and decide to play with some lawn pig, the other character's going to be like, meat tastes a little funny, that's it. Robots and Robots Plus. Eventually, maybe we can make robots, I don't know. The research tree is long in this particular playthrough, so I don't know if we'll ever get a chance to building robots. We'll see. Animal logic, so we can rename animals, assign them beds, that's the main thing. That I wanted this for, because I like being able to rename them and assign them beds. If your character gets attached to an animal and they create a bond, they typically want that animal to sleep in the room with them. And you can stick a bed in there, but you can't guarantee that particular animal will sleep in that bed. And it prevents animals from eating random stuff, which I didn't know it did that. Responsiveness. Egg layers would try to find a bed for a sleeping spot. Basically, it makes the animals work a little bit better, I think, but I'm not sure that this one also keeps them from running into fire, and that's another reason why I wanted it. Animal collab project. Words, I can't word. Basically just adds a ton of different animals to the game. A ton of different animals. A dog said allows me to repair any animals, basically. Probably wouldn't get over prosthetics to keep them moving. Especially if it's an animal that started with the game. If they lose a leg or two legs, you don't want them to be laid in a bed the whole time. You feel like, oh, I want to put the animal down because we're constantly have to feed them and stuff. Well, this one gives you a chance to get the animal back on its feet and then maybe restrict their movements to keep them out of trouble. And this is the animal collab project. A dog said surgery. Basically, all the animals that's added by the mod is now also in a dog said, so we can work on them. Bow's milkable animals. We can milk more animals. The haulage, meaning more animals can haul. There's not really a larger selection. There's a few extra ones. Chemicals and Nutrimine. We need Boomalope so we can make Nutrimine. There should be a way in the game, base game, to make Nutrimine. There isn't one. Predator hunt alert. Basically, we will get an alert just like if any one of our characters was to start getting hunted by a predator, we get a notification. Now, if they are after our animal, we will get a notification as well. Maybe get a chance to save them before they actually get struck. Orbital animal traders. We're going to need animals. We might be locked inside our colony, so we need another way to get animals. More slaves. Maybe we need more people. If we get stuck inside our colony and we can't get more colonists, and we're running out of, like, everybody's working as hard as they can, but they can't get everything done, we may need more people. So, and more trade ships. So we're going to need extra trade ships because, like I said, we might get stuck inside our walls. Who knows? Tradable meals. Previous versions of this game, you were able to trade meals for money or trade meals for other things. In the newest version, for some reason, that's not a thing anymore. I don't understand that, so we turned it back on. Imprisonment on the go. If we do by chance go out for certain things, if we down somebody and want to take that character, I want to be able to bring them home without having to build a beast to lock them up and bring them home. Meals on wheels. If we have food on our muffalopes, the colonists will go look for the meals whenever we stop. It makes no sense that the colonists will starve when there are meals present. Incident person stats. We get more details whenever someone's being chased, basically. We don't want to welcome someone in there just because they're being chased. Set up camp. While we are running through the... I'm going to call them the wastes, because who knows what kind of zombies and scary shit's out there right now. We can set up camp, you know, if we're crazy, and rest or do whatever else. Look for supplies, anything like that. Marine Corps faction. Obviously, if we are going to have the Marine Corps, it needs to be a full-on playthrough. There are factions of Marine Corps, groups of Marines that have bonded together to said, we're going to wait out the zombie apocalypse, and those guys are in the game. Bionics and surgery. Well, basically, if someone gets injured, they get injured and we need to help them. Hospitality, we will welcome people to our place. I'm not sure how big the zombie hordes get. I know you can toggle it in the mods menu. So I'm starting out small on easy mode. I think the max I told it could have is 20 zombies for a horde. And that's just starting out. As soon as I get comfortable with how it works, I'm going to amp it up because I want it to be scary. I want it to be scary. So we're going to amp it up as I know what to expect. I don't even know that we will get an alarm if the mod will even work. So let's just keep it small until I know. Realistic rooms. They're not going to fight about a smaller room. It's the zombie apocalypse. I don't care if you have a bed and a wall. You're happy. Veggie blend. We can mix together food. It makes no sense why we can't do this to begin with. And nutritious kibble, making it a little bit better on the kibble so we don't have to make quite as much. Food is going to be scarce and hard to do because we're not going to have as much room to grow. More harvest designators. Basically, we can designate to I'm stuttering now for some reason. We can harvest only mature plants. That's basically what this does. I do like the fact that it gives you the option to harvest only mature plants. So you get the most for the buck. The Allow tool. Anybody who's ever played this knows Allow tool and Vein Miner. Both should be in base game but are not. Allow tool basically allows you to unforbid things in multiples instead of having to click on each individual one. Vein Miner allows you to vein out the whole miner. Why am I even trying to English? It allows you to mine out the whole vein instead of having to go back and forth to make sure you've gotten it all. Minify everything. A lot of times, if you've got the right people, you can pick stuff up and move it. Just about anything, if there's not a way to do it, you can find a way to move it. So just about everything on there is able to be moved. I really don't think walls should be moved. I think there's a setting in here where I can tell it to not do that. Efficient utilities, basically all of these things right here will run a little bit better. Ogre stack, bigger stack, so we don't have to have as many stockpiles, or as big a stockpiles. It gets a little cumbersome later game. Crafting rebalanced. If they are bad crafters, I mean, if they're a level 20 crafter, if they're a really good crafter, they're less likely to create a poor item. It makes sense. It should be in base game. Bulk stone cutting, basically being able to do stone cutting in bulk. Selectable targets for your turrets, which was in earlier game. I don't know why it's not now, but I want that back, so we got it. Trading spots, so you can control where your people are going to trade. This game is going to be very, very difficult. I do not want my traders waiting around outside of my walls for the next zombie horde. Let's bring them inside. Expanded crops, we're going to have a few extra crops. I really don't need to say anything more than that, and we're going to have some more meal types. Tiny table, just in case we need a tiny table. I mean, who doesn't need a tiny table? It just sounds cute to say, tiny table. More floors! Yeah. Small comms console. It takes up a 1x1 space. In this particular playthrough specifically, I would think that these would be like a CB radio. Can we get a CB radio mod where it looks like it's on a table and it looks like a CB radio? I'm just talking to all the modders out there. Please, can I have one? And it replaces the comms console. That would be freaking awesome! Okay, floored. Adds more floor types, which is basically just more floors and this one, but this one adds in these hazard things, which I really like. Indoor tree farm, meaning I could actually grow indoors if necessary. I'm not sure if it's going to be necessary in this game, but we're going to find out. The turrets for the Marine Corps, basically, if we get on the bad side of the Marine Corps and we have to go to their faction to do something about that, they're going to have the ability to have turrets. And we will have the ability to have turrets. It's going to be even on both sides. If I get on the bad side of the Marine Corps, which who is stupid enough to do that? Honestly, they would be able to kill us. Omnicore, later game, we're not going to be able to go very many places. It's going to be harder and harder to find resources. So the Omnicore allows us to dig up resources in our own area. Tilled soil, I've said this 100 times, it should be base game. Humans learned how to till soil a long time ago. Why it's not a thing, I don't know. Rim fridge. Makes sense that you can eventually build a fridge. Miscellaneous turrets. This adds more and varied types of turrets. I think most of these have to be researched. I think all of this stuff has to be researched. Coffee and tea. Duh. More vanilla turrets. There's a lot of turrets in this game. I'm scared of the zombies. Is it obvious? Easy infestations. We're going to be building in or around mountains. I don't want the infestations to go crazy. Simply more bridges. I'm not sure if this is actually going to be useful in this particular playthrough, but I like the idea of being able to research and build different types. Realistic smoke leaf. It basically makes it less addictive. So, you know, gardening, more medicine, mending and recycling. We're not going to be able to go out and kill a whole bunch of things whenever hordes are coming in, so we need to be able to mend our own stuff. Bulk components, just so we can make more components at one time if we can. Doors expanded. I kind of got this one mostly for the jail door and the curtains. I love the curtains. I loved them in the last playthrough, and it makes sense that in this situation, if you want to section things off, it would be through a curtain, not a door. Fuses and stuff, toxic fallout, protective suit, field medic, basically. If they have the med kit on them, which one of my characters does start with the med kit, and he's the one who was a Marine medic. You can help people who are wounded out and about, which actually makes sense. I don't know why that's not part of the thing. Meat blend, which actually should be up here with the veggie blend. Basically the same thing. It's a blend of meats. It allows us to compile more stacks. Doormat, so you can wipe your feet instead of tracking all that shit into the house. Prisoner ransom. We may not actually want everybody that we get. Why not make a little bit of money off of them? Jelly farm. Now this one is going to be interesting if we can manage it at the beginning of the game, because we already have a hive on our map. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but we're going to see. Basically, we'll be able to collect the jelly. Maybe we can tame the guys and collect their jelly. The jelly is considered a high-risk item because they can get food poisoning from it, but it is also a mood boost, which means it should also sell for a bit too. Herbal boosters. It goes along with being able to make stuff from our crops. We should be able to do boosters that helps out our health. Dub skylight. So I can just open it up instead of having to use solar panels, though this won't actually work during like an eclipse or something like that. So semi-helpful. Thanks for the fish. We'll be allowed to fish. Infestation bait. This, I think, should have actually been added to the base game, or at least something you could study later on in the game, being able to use bait to draw them to a specific area. And this, along with being able to do the jelly farm, I think they work together well. I don't know. Whoever did this one, Navy SEAL and Delium, these two guys need to talk. This is actually a very interesting concept, and they could probably put something together with it. Yeah. Better crashed ship parts. Basically, it takes back the ability to get the AI persona cores from the crashed ships, which was removed from the game. Not sure why. But, yeah, it gives you the ability to get those back again. It's very rare that you can get them, but who knows? We've got plaid. Plaid shirts. Why? Because it's the zombie apocalypse, that's why. The quarry is an early game, being able to get mining materials if we can't go out and about to go get the materials. Early game, and the other thing is for later game. Combat training. It's under development. Oh, but basically you get dummies to put up. I'm not sure if this one is going to work. We will see. Solar panels, it makes them a little bit smaller so they'll fit within the space of the wind turbine. Hasn't it bothered anybody else that they don't? It's bothered me. It's a nerd fix. It's an aesthetic fix. Pharmacists, you could tell them what they should and shouldn't take for certain types of injuries, which if you have a doctor who knows anything, they should already know that. Embrasures. I love embrasures. Facial stuffs. This actually adds a lot more than facial stuff, I will tell you. It does children, pregnancy, vampires, werewolves, prepare carefully. All features can be disabled in the mod options menu. Children and pregnancy. Interesting. I might try one with that, or at least a run through, because I want it a little bit more like it should happen. Anyway, it also animates the face. And during my initial playthrough to make sure all the mods were working properly, it was kind of funny to watch their faces working because they were sleeping and you could see their eyes moving like they were dreaming. It was kind of cool. Why do I have plaid on here twice? Why is that a thing? I don't know. This one's got a file on it. I don't know. I do have cleaning priority on here, and if it ever gets fixed, I will turn it on. But I tried to run it, and every time they wanted to clean something, it messed up. So the mod's not working properly right now, but hopefully it will be added later. But that is how the mods are going. I don't even know how many mods that was. I don't really know. And there are a couple of mods that I'm kind of still interested in, but they haven't updated or may not update. We'll see. And I don't know whether or not they'll work with the mods that I currently have. But yeah, that is it for this particular episode. If you are interested in seeing how the start of this colony begins, words. Tune in for the first episode. It'll be coming up shortly. I will see you soon. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and you stay shiny. Bye.